Hello again, everybody. It's beautiful to see you. I keep waiting for it to feel a little more summery, but giving thanks for the moisture. I invite you now, as you're so moved, to take some deeper breaths, letting go of lists or the worries of the world's wounds, just for a time to be open to receiving whatever word the universe has for each of us today. And I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer from these ancient words from Psalm 19. God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight, our rock and our redeemer. Amen. If we are up for it, being willing to change, to continue to learn, to evolve, to deepen, or to widen our sense of things and what could be, it's clear that life is richer if we are willing to do all that. I see it regularly, and I feel it as I age, even where it pushes against what's most convenient. And I say if we are up for it because it's evident that not everyone is. Continuing to change or having different experiences or meeting new people, or in the poetic words of the Psalmist, singing a new song, can make us uncomfortable, at least at first. Also, I think sometimes we resist even that which would be better for us because we are afraid. What will it be like? What if it goes wrong? What if it would have been better off to do the way we always did, to sing the familiar song? Whether it's wondering where we would fit or how we would do it, or what it would sound like or look like or feel like, or if it could really work. In my experience, most anyone or anything new is typically preceded and sometimes accompanied by both internal and external no's. They can manifest in a variety of forms. A new person, a new experience, a new relationship, a new way of doing or being. The truth is that at any time in our lives, new is ultimately taking a chance, welcoming the unfamiliar, or at least making space for it somewhere. It's some level of risk. So the no's kind of make sense. A new beginning of any flavor is really an act of faith. And that is hard. And that takes practice. And because it can be so difficult, often our response is to hold on to something that isn't working because we know what to expect. Has anyone ever done that? Maybe not consciously even. Or we speak or act negatively toward the new person or the new idea because it's just easier than trying to make room for the questions or the difference. Or we justify a relationship or a behavior or a program that isn't really thriving because it's what we know how to do. I feel like there's a lot of that going on in our world. But here's the thing. On the other side of all of that is something valuable, a treasure even. That line from John O'Donohue really resonates with me. And he says, the secret riches of our lives are best achieved when we place profound trust in the act of beginning. There is something precious and important on its own in being willing to leave the familiar behind. And still, any beginning, any new song in our repertoire can make us uncomfortable. I know I often think of all the things that can go wrong. And yet still there is a richness, a preciousness in singing new songs. I found myself reflecting on all the new songs we have sung and learned to sing together over our years of shared ministry, and all of the new beginnings we have trusted, and all of the new people and new ideas and new ways of being that we have embraced. As I said, we are in the final weeks before our time of congregational renewal, where I'll be away for 3 whole months, and it does feel like the end of a season in a way and the beginning of a new one. And among all the things I feel, I find myself feeling gratitude and wanting to say thank you. So maybe from here on out, it'll be like love letters. Since I started as your pastor in January of 2019, Together and separately, we have learned, changed, evolved, deepened, and widened our sense of what could be. And of course, not everyone was up for new songs, metaphorically or literally. But those of you who've stayed, and those of you who've come since, are all a part of a collective chorus. Thank you. Part of what drew me here when I began a nationwide search, seems like a million worlds ago, knowing it was time to leave my own familiar behind, part of what drew me here, and part of what keeps me going, and continue to give me hope in a time when almost weekly there are articles, and you send them to me, thank you, but articles about the church in decline, and there's a lot of those going around. But part of what gets me out of bed and what drew me here is that this church has in its DNA a willingness to take risks for new people, for new ideas, for new ways of being, becoming open and affirming in the 90s when that was not hip. And I don't know that it even is now. Welcoming refugees and immigrants from at least 3 countries over the years, protesting war, pushing for legislation aiming to prevent gun violence, and so many other bold, out on a limb, beautiful actions. Not because they were comfortable, but because all these things are part of being faithful. It's inspiring to me and to so many of us to be connected to a courageous crew that is you. Thank you for being a part of evolving our statements and our structure, our worship and our website, our way of showing up in the digital world. Thank you for being a part of evolving our work for justice and having the courage to leave the ease of the status quo behind by removing part of our lawn. Okay, this was radical at the time, just saying. Removing our lawn to plant a garden, but we did it. And removing our sense that thoughts and prayers were adequate by building the Guns to Gardens Safe Surrender movement. Thank you for being open to retreats and community office hours and events and being a site for bringing people together for a shared purpose or just for fun. Thank you for being open to my own evolutions as a preacher and a teacher. Thank you for supporting experiments and for being open to my what about this? I was thinking you might be good to have a break from those what abouts. Thank you for supporting me in figuring out when to lead from behind, beside, and here maybe sometimes even in the front. We changed our vision statement to note that we care about an ever-evolving view of the holy. And I think our culture here is that this is true about other things as well. It is healthy and holy to evolve, even though you might not know that if you talk to the average Christian in this country. I think it is holy that when we get more information, have new experiences, share life with new people and new ideas, we are blessed to be open to changing our thinking, our doing, our way of being, singing new songs of all kinds. As we heard from John O'Donohue, perhaps the art of harvesting the secret riches of our lives is best achieved when we place profound trust in the act of beginning, knowing risk might be our greatest ally. Thank you for being both rooted in history and reaching fully and completely into this moment right now. It is an honor to be your pastor and continue to sing and learn new songs with each of you. So now we're going to take a chance to hear from each other. Do you see being open to change as essential to your spiritual journey? How do you sing new songs in your life? Is change something you embrace? Have you ever held on to something that wasn't working just because you knew what to expect? That might require a little more vulnerability. And to you who are a part of our worship on the live stream, you are invited to journal or discuss with those in your home or ponder on these same questions for a few minutes. All right, we invite you in the room as you're comfortable to turn to those near you and reflect as you're moved. Beloved of God, let us keep singing new songs individually and collectively. Thank you for being willing to evolve with me. May it carry on, may it be so. Amen.
Greetings to you wherever you are watching this. For those of you whom I have yet to meet in person, I'm Reverend Nicola Marsh, pastor here at Community UCC. And we see that people like you are watching our live stream each week. And because of this, we are excited to be embarking upon an experiment. And we need you. If you are engaging with us regularly, finding meaning in what we are about, we would like to extend a special invitation for you to be among the first CUCC digital disciples. For signing up for just $10 a month, you will receive a t-shirt with the new CUCC logo. And we are also exploring the idea of offering other content to those of you who are part of this new and growing area of digital ministry. Sign up to support us in this new way at cuccboulder.org/support by clicking on the yellow donate tab and noting you are a digital disciple in the instructions. Or as always, we welcome an old-fashioned check mailed to us at CUCC, P.O. Box 3646, Boulder, Colorado 80307. Thank you for being and building beloved community with us, and thank you for your gift, whatever it might be.